Far away, in the glittering city of Venice, lived a man whose name would echo through history. His name was Othello. Othello was not born into wealth or nobility. He was an outsider, a foreigner in a land of ancient power and privilege. But what he lacked in bloodline, he gained in courage. Through strength, discipline, and honor, he rose from the shadows of doubt into the light of glory. He became a general of Venice, a man whose sword defended the city, whose voice commanded armies, whose presence demanded respect. But beyond the battlefield, Othello had found a greater victory. He had won the heart of Desdemona, a noblewoman of grace and beauty. Their love was strong, pure. A union that defied tradition, that overcame prejudice, that stood as a testament to devotion. For a time, their love was a fortress. But even the strongest fortress can be breached, not by armies, not by weapons, but by whispers. Among Othello's officers was a man named Iago. Outwardly loyal, inwardly bitter. Iago was a master of masks, one face for the world, another face hidden deep inside. He believed he had been wronged. He believed he deserved more power, more honor, more recognition. But instead, others rose before him. And so, envy took root in his heart. Why should Othello, a foreigner, hold such power? Iago muttered to himself. Why should he have the love of a noblewoman, while I am overlooked? I will not endure it. I will not watch him thrive while I remain in shadow. If I cannot rise by merit, I will rise by deceit. Thus, his plan was born. Not to strike Othello on the battlefield, but to strike where no soldier's armor could defend, his heart. At first, life carried on in peace. Othello and Desdemona lived in joy. She spoke to him with tenderness. He looked at her with trust. But like a serpent in the garden, Iago began to whisper. My lord, Iago said, with feigned hesitation, I fear for you. I fear for your honor. For though Lady Desdemona is fair, women are not always constant. Tell me, have you not seen how kindly she speaks to Cassio? Cassio was Othello's young lieutenant. Handsome, charming, well-spoken. And though he was innocent of wrongdoing, Iago painted him as guilty. At first, Othello laughed. No. Desdemona is true. Her heart is mine. But once a seed of doubt is planted, it does not vanish. It grows. Slowly. Quietly. Unseen. Iago was relentless. He twisted harmless gestures into evidence. He staged conversations. He planted objects where they did not belong. A handkerchief, small, delicate, embroidered by Desdemona, was placed in Cassio's room by Iago's hand. And when Othello saw it, the seed of jealousy bloomed into poison. This was hers, Othello whispered. The gift of her love, now in another man's keeping. Doubt turned to suspicion. Suspicion to fear. And fear, to rage. The proud general who had stood against armies, could not stand against his own thoughts. The fortress of his love cracked, stone by stone. And in its ruins, jealousy reigned. He confronted Desdemona. Tell me the truth, he demanded. Have you betrayed me? Her eyes filled with tears. My lord, my husband, never. My love for you is pure. I have never strayed. But jealousy is a cruel master. It deafens the ears. It blinds the eyes. It twists truth into lies, and loyalty into treachery. Othello could not hear her innocence. He could only hear Iago's poison echoing in his mind. The night grew dark. The walls of their chamber seemed to close in. And in a moment of tragic rage, Othello did the unthinkable. He silenced the woman who loved him most. The woman who would have stood by him through all storms. The woman whose only crime was honesty. Her voice faded. Her breath stilled. And silence fell heavier than any thunder. But silence is never safe for lies. The truth came swiftly. Iago's treachery was revealed. His whispers, his schemes, his envy. All exposed like rot beneath the surface. And in that moment, Othello saw the truth. He looked at Desdemona's still body, and the weight of his deed crushed him. "I was deceived," he cried. "I was blind. I was a fool. I killed the light of my life with my own hands." The warrior who had faced countless battles was broken. Not by enemies. Not by swords. But by himself. Unable to endure his guilt, Othello took the final step. With the same hand that had destroyed his love, he ended his own life. Falling beside her, as though in death he might find the union he had shattered in life. Thus ended the tale of Othello, the noble warrior undone by envy's poison and jealousy's fire. From his fall, one truth echoes through time. Beware envy, for it hides behind smiles. Beware deceit, for it wears the mask of friendship. And above all, beware jealousy, for once it enters the heart, it devours all reason. Trust, once broken, cannot be repaired by regret. Love, once destroyed, cannot be revived by sorrow. So guard your heart well. Choose truth over suspicion. Choose patience over anger. Choose love over doubt. For those who fail to see, may find, like Othello, that the greatest enemy is not in the world outside, but in the weakness within.